And welcome to the action, ladies and gentlemen. National action is going down at IMG, the Youth National Championships. Round one of the 9 and under action. Two of the nation's two top teams, the BOWIE Broncos, 9 and under, come in undefeated. And, of course, the FU, and we call them Falcons United. Listen, a team that comes out of Georgia that plays in a gauntlet of 9Us. And they really have had a tough schedule to come in here just to make it to the seedings that they play each other coming out of the gate. Action happening all over IMG today. Games going on simultaneously, but none bigger than the BOWIE Broncos. Wishbone formation. Ball is on the ground. And the Broncos look like they needed to jump right back on it. Very tightly contested game. If you're just joining us right here on Generation X U Sports Network, score is 0-0. A beautiful day here in Bradenton, Florida. Turf fields here at IMG. The facilities are amazing. The kids are having a blast. It's around 51 degrees today, a little chilly. But for teams like that's coming out of Atlanta and Maryland, it's not too chilly, just probably for the announcer who's coming from Miami. So these kids here are already acclimated. Weather's not bothering them at all. And, of course, we'll start breaking down some of the keys to the game between the Broncos and Falcons United. And you'll look at Falcons United defensive line, and you'll notice a very big defensive tackle. That's going to be Beasley Kincaid, and he's going to anchor that line. Broncos give a pitch to the right-hand side. Nothing there, and he'll be caught in the backfield with a loss of around 9 yards, as that did not fool the Falcons. They were all over that play. And that's going to be a loss of yards that's going to bring up a big third down for them. I think the Broncos are finding out it's going to be hard to run east and west with the pitches against Falcons United. But make no mistake, the Broncos can run in between the tackles with big backs as well. So this is going to be a very, very great chess game between both of these coaches as they fill each other out. And so with these two talented teams, you wonder why they come out in the brackets of playing each other. Well, that's how the seedings had them meet up per their records. And listen, make no mistake, both of these teams wanted each other. Broncos wanted Falcons, and Falcons wanted the Broncos. So how fitting is it for them to come out game one, day one, to put it all on the line for the right to move on for a national championship? Both of these teams feature dynamic offenses and dynamic players. And of course, you guys know Caden Bennett around the nation from the Broncos offense. And Falcons have an array of players on offense and defense as well. Quick discussion on the football field. Let's see what it's all about as we're in the first quarter action. If you're just joining us here on Generation X U Sports Network. Broncos come out once again in their wishbone formation. And there's going to be movement on the line. Let's see what they call. And let's see what the ref calls. And they're going to call it a false start. They're going to back up the Broncos 5 yards. As it looked like the left guard moved first. And, man, there's a lot of buzz in the building here, you got to say, with these two particular teams. And that's going to be FU's ball. Let's take a look at that play again. And that is number 0 on the carry. But, man. Hand off to the right-hand side. And that's going to be enough for about 3 or 4 yards. Hand off to the right-hand side. And they are moving the ball. Quarterback sneak right up the middle, and Falcons are pushing to get close to that end zone area. Quarterback on the center, hand off to the left-hand side. Has open room there. And he'll cut back in. He'll get all the way down to around the 2-yard line. And there's going to be flags on the field, so let's see what this penalty is. And that's going to back up the Falcons 10 yards. They're going to call holding on the Falcons. Didn't see it there, but referees are out there on top of it. And those holdings are what we always call drive killers, but got to tell you, tight formation, wishbone formation, hand off to the right-hand side. Not a lot of room there. Broncos are all over it, and that's maybe a gain of 1. Broncos trying to tighten up their defense right now when it most counts. A bend but don't break approach is what they're trying to do against the Falcons right now. And again, Falcons with a hurry-up offense. They come in and staying inside of that wishbone offense and just trying to get back to the line of scrimmage. And the ball is on the ground, and it looks like the Broncos recovered. Let's see what the call is. It's Broncos ball. Big turnover, as it looks like the Falcon United was just getting some momentum to get into their red zone once again, and the Broncos come up with a huge play as the fullback looks like he was trying to get around the guard and ran into his own man. And let's look at the replay right here and put the ball on the ground. Broncos ball. Let's look at it right here. He's trying to get around the guard, and that's exactly what happened. Ball is on the ground, 1st and 10, BOWIE Broncos. Thanks for joining us right here at Generation X U Sports Network. Two of the most predominant non-U teams match up in day one right against each other. And I'm glad you're able to tune in to see this matchup because it's going to be non-U action this entire week. Handoff right up the middle, and you're seeing this strength we were talking about when it comes to number 0. Caden is a handful to bring down. And like I was telling you, this team can run between the tackles. They don't have to pitch it left or right. They run power and bruising football. And number 0 has a lot to do with that. Big tackle in the backfield as they go to number 0 again and went to the well a little bit too often too soon as they keyed on him, and that's going to be around a loss of 3. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 7 for the BOWIE Broncos. That's going to be into the first quarter. Score is 0-0, Broncos and Falcons. And here come the BOWIE Broncos. Once again, tight formation. 3-back set, quarterback under center. And this time a misdirection to the left-hand side. And about a gain of 3. And the ball is on the ground. And there's a fight for the ball. Let's see who comes up with it. And it's FU's ball. Falcons come up with a big turnover. They get the ball back once again. So just in this first bit of football, you've seen 3 turnovers, the ball put on the ground 3 times, but this one with excellent field position for Falcon United. And it was kind of hard to see what happened in this. And, you know, in any football game, you fight in those piles for it, but the handoff was clean, had the ball here, and he was hit, and it looks like he was stripped, and the ball is out before he even lands, and that's a fumble, ladies and gentlemen. That is a fumble. Hand off to the left-hand side, and he has some room, and it looks like there'll be touchdown, and there you see it, touchdown. Touchdown by Mr. Hilton King. The first score between these two heavyweight contenders. And they go for the point after attempt. Hand off right up there, and it'll be good. Conversion is good. Falcons United go up 7-0 over the BOWIE Broncos. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You'll just see it right here as they go over the left guard. Nothing fancy here. And this goes back to the touchdown as he was able to navigate his way. Excellent running, great vision, as Mr. King made a reservation for 6 for the Falcons. And you'll see right here the point after attempt as they kind of find their groove. And Falcons United take the lead 7-0 over Broncos. So it'll be very interesting to see how the Broncos come back after that particular play. And turnovers have played a key, not only just in possession, but field position. And there's flags on the play. And 0 will receive that. As Caden Bennett is escorted out of bounds on an onside kick. first and 10 for BOWIE Broncos at the 40-yard line. Coming in a wing T formation. FU shows blitz, and they blitz up the middle, and he'll be hit in the backfield for like 5 yards. And listen, when you see a team dial up a run blitz like that, you either have to check out of that offense or check out of the play and do something like a quick, slant. Now, listen, we know that may not be that advanced at 9U to be able to check out of a play, but you have to be able to do something when you see a team ready to run blitz like that. Maybe a timeout or something and put yourself 2nd and 13 for the Broncos. And you can really tell right now the Falcons United defensive coordinator, his mindset now, if he's going to see a tight formation, they're going to run blitz. He doesn't feel that they're going to throw out of that formation, so they're going to bring the pressure. And you see those linebackers walk again down to the line of scrimmage, and there's no difference here. They're coming again. And again, a run blitz. And that's going to be a run for about 2 yards. So, and here's the pro and the cons about run blitzing. Yes, it's great if you catch the ball carrier in the backfield, but if that ball carrier makes it past the first wave of defenders, then it's usually only like a free safety that can stop a touchdown. So, and I think that's what Broncos' philosophy is here. Like, listen, if we can get our skilled players past the second wave of those Falcons defenders, then we're home free. So we'll have to see which philosophy really works out here between both teams. And that's going to be against the Broncos, and Broncos showing a little frustration here. But listen, this is national competition, guys. In any respective area, these teams are dominant. Listen, in the Maryland area, BOWIE is super dominant, and they're dominant here on the national level, but they're playing one of the top teams coming out of the Georgia area, and so it's going to be best team wins. And when I say wins, it's about winning different situations, blitzing situation, blocking, protection, individual down for down. Here we go. Handoff once again. And they're swarming again to the ball. Not a lot of room there. And you can see the game plan of the Falcons is to stop number 0, and that is their game plan. They're keying on him right now. So it'll work. What would work for the Broncos offensively? Well, any misdirection and any type of play that's going to use number 0 as a decoy should be wide open because those linebackers are flowing right to his jersey number every single play. And as you can see on your screen, count the numbers up. You'll see before the ball is snapped, you'll watch the linebackers walk into that box, and you already see it. You'll count them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plays. And out. Wow. Big sack in the backfield. As the Broncos said, you know what, enough of this running thing. Let's pull out our offense and look at here. We'll take a replay and see how that protection broke down. Quarterback back for the pass, and he was escorted down abruptly by the Falcons. Timeout on the field. So right now the keys to the game is how can the Broncos get number 0 going? We know he's one of the top backs in the country, but he's facing, one of the top defenses that's really just keying on him right now. So offensively, the Broncos got to see how can we get him in the open space and how can we create a decoy and get our other plays in the open space against this Broncos defense. And FU was just saying, hey, listen, offensively, we know what we want to do. We want to run off tackle. We want to run directly at Broncos, and that's really what's been happening. So that's what's going on between these two teams. So Got to tell you, and of course, turnovers had a lot to do with it, putting the Falcons in excellent scoring position on the last turnover, and they cashed in on that, coming and walking away with 7 points on the deal. So a lot of football left right here in the first round of the Youth National Championships. Of course, I'm Jonah Willard with Generation X Youth Sports Network. We'll be bringing you action the entire week. And, man, listen, this is just one of the barn burners out of the gate, and it won't stop. We have barn burners all week long. Of course, we talked about that competitive 12 and under action, 14 and under action, 10 and under action, 12 and under. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where it's going. And just to kind of tune you guys in on before, of course, some big wins earlier today. The Tampa Jags beat Boom Squad out of California, and Slidell Hurricanes defeated the GTM Hurricanes to move over in 7 and under as well. And, of course, the biggest player on 6U led his team to victory over the Fort Lauderdale Hurricanes, and handoff right up the middle here. And not much there. And if you're just tuning in to Generation X Youth Sports Network, the score is 7-0 Falcons over the Broncos, 9 and under action, and this is for the right to move on to the next round in the national championship chase for the crystal ball here at YNC. Beautiful day here at IMG. The sun is out, not a cloud in the sky, a little brisky, a little cool. We're under the production tent, a little chilly over here, but we just ordered in some Dunkin' Donuts and some coffee. I'm giving a little free plug to Dunkin' Donuts. Just send us a check real quick, you know. But besides that, man, great day out here for football. 8 active fields across the entire IMG complex. And we'll be catching you up on some updates of all the action that's been taking place this entire day. Like we said, entire week of action that you won't want to miss. Make sure you guys stay locked in right here at Generation X Youth Sports Network. And big run from the Broncos. And that's going to be enough for the first down, and that's what the Broncos have been waiting on right there, of how to get into the open field and hit the edges against the Falcons. And it's timeout on the field. And that's going to bring up 4th and 11 for the Broncos, as they were trying to make up some of those yards going backwards. And that was their biggest run of the day, believe it or not. And still is going to leave them in around 4th and, let's call it a short 8, 4th and 8. And they're going to go for it even though they're on their side of the football field. And again, not much there. And you got to be very careful about where you're giving this Falcons offense the ball. And right behind us, another 9U team that's full of action right now is going to be CYU taking on Progress Village Panthers. Major 9 and under action going on right here. The BOWIE Broncos out of Maryland taking on the Falcon Uniteds out of Georgia. 2 top-ranked teams. Hand off to the left-hand side. A lot of room there. Still on his feet. Gets all the way down to the 15, to the 25-yard line. And that was excellent blocking there. As you can see that they overloaded to the left-hand side, and he just followed his block for a big gain. And the ball is on the ground once again. And it's going to be Falcons United ball. Listen, it's been a day of turnovers. And right now, Falcon United has been winning the battle of turnovers right now. So listen, they have to calm themselves down and hold on to the ball. Hand off to the left-hand side, still on his feet. He cuts back to the middle. Same identical play as before, and same results, and he'll have about a gain of 12. So that play is really working for him. And what they'll do is just overload to one side, and running back simply finds behind it. So the Bowie Broncos going to adjust to that play when they see that overload. And here they come out, same formation again. Two backs right behind the guard and tackle, and they'll run it to the left-hand side again. This time the ball is on the ground, and this time Bowie Broncos wins the battle of the turnovers, and a very important turnover there, as it looked like the Falcons United was going ahead for a go-ahead punch in, as they were just getting 7 to 8 yards, almost 10 yards a carry on this drive. And Bowie Broncos, when they most needed it, came up with a big turnover right there. So that's a takeaway for the Bowie Broncos. And most importantly, that's stopping Falcon United is increasing their lead. And you'll see it right here. He just didn't receive it into his stomach the proper way. And we always teach that as coaches. Hey, make sure you're open to the ball. So big break for the Bowie Broncos as they trail 0-7. And it looks like Falcon United's coaches are coming on the field calling a timeout. They'll want to talk about this. And thank you once again tuning in to Generation X Youth Sports Network right here on Generation X. We'll be bringing you some of the top games all week. All week long, guys. It's going to be championship football. And under the blue skies here in Bradenton, Florida. And that's going to take us to our half between the Bowie Broncos and the Falcons United. And welcome back to the second half action right now. BOWIE Broncos taking on Falcons United out of Georgia. Of course, you're taking a big grand view of some of the fields that's going down here today at IMG. Yeah, you good? And flags are thrown. Perfect. And welcome back to the action right here on Generation X U Sports Network. Now listen, if you guys want to tune in and catch your different games or just see what the schedule is for the Youth National Championships, make sure you go to the app, download it, Zorts. That's going to be Zorts. And from there, you just click on to Youth National Championships, and then follow your favorite team. Whatever team that you're particularly following is going to show all their particular schedules, 9U, 8U, 7U, 6U, all the way up to 14U. So once again, if you want to make sure you can find a schedule for the whole Youth National Championships, make sure you go to Zorts.com or Zorts application on your phone, and after you do that, click Youth National Championships, and there you will have all the schedules for all the teams involved in the tournament. Right now, if you're just tuning in, you're tuning in to the BOWIE Broncos taking on the Falcon United Falcons. It has been a game of turnovers, and with those turnovers, listen, teams have been able to really take advantage of their position, and those teams, of course, has been the Falcons. The Falcons have been able to take advantage of the field position. They received the ball on the 11-yard line and was able to cash it in for a 7-0 lead. Broncos, of course, runs their offense through number 0. They haven't been able to get him started as of yet because Falcons United has been king on that particular player. So, of course, the keys of the game for the Broncos would be see who else they can get going or get him in open spaces because he's a dynamic football player that won't be denied on any level. All right, handoff to the right-hand side. And, of course, there's a lot of Broncos all over it, and that Broncos defense has been swarming all day beside a couple big plays. But for the most part, it has been a defensive battle, 7-0 on the 9 and under division right here at the Youth National Championships, day one. And this is when Falcons United offense get into the hurry-up offense. And they're going to call a timeout because Broncos was trying to get players on the football field to do a certain type of substitution and couldn't. So, and that's part of Falcons United offense, that they want to press you, go fast, and go quick. And it didn't allow BOWIE Broncos to make their proper substitution, so BOWIE had to call a timeout there. Why does he have an 8-0? We have it 7-0. Why do you have an 8-0? They robbed Josh and Curly at Dunkin' Donuts. They ain't give my dogs no napkin. It's so cold out here, that coffee get cold fast. Golly. Yeah, we should have put the box in the sun. This is going to be 4th and short for Falcons United, as they are really trying to punch it in to increase their lead to 2 touchdowns or 2 scores. And let's see, and the referee signals 1st and 10 for Falcons United. So now that will make it 1st and goal for Falcons United. And that is a touchdown for Falcons United, as they are able to increase their lead 13-0 over BOWIE Broncos. Let's take a look at it right here as they're able to power their way in. Hand off to the right-hand side. He'll follow his block, and easy sledding for Falcons United. Score is 13-0. And a team effort to stop number 0 at the 40-yard line. And that's going to bring up 2nd and long. Hand off to the left-hand side. Tackled in the backfield, cut down before he can get started. And that's Ryan Peterson on the tackle as he's able to cut down number 0 in the backfield as before Caden Bennett could even get going. And that has been the plan from Falcons United all day, is to focus and stop number 0, and they've been successful thus far. He's not been able to get going out of the backfield, not over 15 yards rushing for the day. Big tackle by Falcons United. Not much room offensively for the Bowie Broncos all day today, and that's been basically the tales of this game now that we're in the fourth quarter. That's going to be turnover on downs. Falcons United ball, 1st and 10. I formation for Falcons United. They'll hand off to the tailback. He'll follow his block, and he's cut down at the line of scrimmage. Minimum gain, maybe 1 yard on the particular play. He'll get all the way down to around the 26-yard line. King Hilton once again showing his royalty on each carry that he's carrying. Handoff once again, tough sledding there, not a lot of room. As Falcons United has played tough defense through this entire contest, really just shutting down the BOWIE Broncos offense. BOWIE Broncos tried to really get their number one or their star player going early in the game. Mr. Caden Bennett, they'll hand off to him to the left-hand side. There's a little room there, not a lot, but he'll drag a couple FU players with him. But he hasn't had some of his signature runs that we're used to him having. You know, this is a kid who will break out in the open field and 70-yard runs, 60-yard runs, and so forth. But FU defense has been really able to keep him in check throughout this particular contest. BOWIE Broncos were in their wishbone offense again. Flags on the play. Big run for number 0, getting them in manageable conversion yardage. That's going to bring up like 3rd and 7 for the Broncos. Flags on the play, and he's still trying to bowl players over, and that just shows you this kid's strength. And he'll be brought down by a host of Falcon United. And let's see what the flags are for. That's going to be holding against BOWIE Broncos. So they'll back them up 10 yards. Bowie and Wishbone once again a handoff to the left-hand side, cut down in the backfield as the cornerback will come up and force a big play, and very impressive open field tackle on such a big player as Mr. Bennett. And that again has been the story, as all the Falcon Uniteds have been taught all this week is just focus on zero, and everything else will depend on somebody else to beat us. But they said zero would not beat them. When I spoke to the head coach off camera, he was saying, listen, we're focused on stopping one player, and we're going to challenge BOWIE Broncos to make another player come out here and beat us. And so that game plan has worked for them. And in Falcon United, with a team effort, running behind number 21 today, really just having an exceptional day, Mr. King Hilton for Falcons United, really just able to kind of display their balanced offense. It's run heavy, of course, but when we say balance, including multiple players in the attack. And then you just got to say the MVP has been the Falcons United defense, really just coming up big, stopping such a multi-dimensional dynamic player as Mr. Bennett is himself. So Caden, again, if you've watched him throughout this season, he does a lot out of the backfield. And of course, also, you know, you haven't heard his name much today, but Rylan Williams, number 4, is another exceptional back for BOWIE Broncos. Super talented team. Make no mistake of just what they're seeing today. These are top-notch teams kind of squaring off, but this BOWIE Broncos is a very, very special 9U team, and you'll hear from them a lot coming in the future. And listen, this is what the YNC is all about. This is what the Houston National Championship is all about. It's about these top teams squaring up with each other and seeing how they really match up. And when you talk about different teams really coming out of different regions, it's about styles of football. Which type of matchup, or you know, is really going to have these teams really go to the next level? What style of football is it going to be? Their powerhouse, the wing tee, the wishbone, or is it going to be a spread type of offense? So these different from West Coast to East Coast teams. This is what it's all about, having them all come out here on a field like this on an exceptional day at our IMG Academy. We can't wait till Friday and Saturday where we'll actually be in the stadium. Right now we're on the multi-fields, which are in the back of the stadium, but Friday and Saturday we'll be on the Jumbotron live streaming. We'll have the red flag challenge in effect. It's going to be ESPN-ish and NFL-ish for these kids on the next level. Of course, always the pre's before the pros. You'll see them right here first on Generation X. Tackled in the backfield, FU defense, again, the MVP of this game, really just taking the air out of the Broncos offense, which have been so exciting to watch this entire year. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Falcons United moves on. They defeat a very talented BOWIE Broncos team. Congratulations to Falcon United. They call themselves the gold standard. But, man, what a game between these two. Very anticipated game. The talk has been on, of course, on the internet, nonstop between these two teams for the last couple weeks, and it lived up to, of course, the expectations of Falcons United. I'm sure BOWIE Bronco fans are a little disappointed that they didn't see their usually dynamic offense scoring, average 20 to 30-something points a game. But this is what it's all about. This is why you got to play it on the football field. Congratulations to Falcons United as they'll move on to the 9 and under. And if you had a feel that was going on right behind us, CYU 9 and under defeats the Progress Village Panthers. You can go on Generation X and check that live out as well. If you were tuning into this game and you kind of want to see some of the teams that will be facing each other as we're going around, Cypress United, CYU will be moving on out of Texas for the next round. So congratulations to them. And Falcons United is moving on. We'll continue the coverage right here on Generation X U Sports Network. Action all day. Don't go anywhere. This is your time for football heaven. The top teams from around the country. It will be no more talk about coming to the smoke. Who wants to smoke? It's straight fire here. Forget the smoke right here on Generation X U Sports Network.